This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
And we still have the not named in the intro, Max Arraj on with us. We got rained out this weekend from travel ball, so maybe I'll get that done this weekend. We'll see. It usually only pops up to the top of my mind right when it starts to play. But you know how that goes. But hey, fellas, welcome to the LowcoSports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Arraj with you on a Friday night, and things are winding down, so we figured we'd get going a little earlier tonight. 9 o'clock start, just a few minutes after the East Coast NBA game, so we're getting started early tonight. But not too much to talk about here in the Lowco. All we've really got is last night's track and field, today's track and field, which is in progress. And then we'll kind of talk about a little bit of everything. Somerville, Ashley Ridge, that whole debacle, that's worth exploring. And a little share and tell. There's some stuff to talk about. Carlo Perusa may be stopping by in a bit. He's going to try to get in here with us and share some interviews he did tonight over at the All-American Football Camp. I think Coach Beachkovsky is going to jump in with us next week and talk about that event, as well as just her experience being a female football coach. Not a ton of them out there, but certainly more and more all the time. And she's got great perspective and great opinions. And, you know, we'll just kind of be easy going here for the next few weeks as we kind of go through the doldrums between seasons. But we do have some champs to celebrate, some more champs to celebrate. Whale Branch girls track, third consecutive state title last night. They ran away with it, no pun intended. They were out front all night long, just dominated in the sprints, and it was all over. The guys had a good day too. They finished second overall without an individual champion, which I thought was pretty incredible. Wow. Really a testament to the depth that they have.
Yeah.
That they didn't have that one standout person who took a bunch of gold, but they still managed to come in second behind Southside Christian, who shouldn't be a 1A school. But outstanding showing from Whale Branch. Some of the stars, the biggest stars, I guess you would say, I kind of calculated their value, actually, using the points they scored individually and then relay points that they were involved in divided by 4. So Destiny Pryor, the most valuable warrior, with 28.5 points contributed. She had 26 individual points and was a part of 10 relay points. Tremendous day for her. She won the 100 meters, runner-up in the long jump and the 200, and then she was part of that 4x1 championship team, along with Talasia Bartley, who also won the 100 hurdles and the 400. Larmore Pryor, who won the long jump and was third in the 200. Janiyah Pryor, not to be outdone, runner-up in the triple jump. So heck of a day for the Pryor girls, who helped bring home a championship. Larmore also 5th in the 100. So just a phenomenal day for Whale Branch, doing it up and down the lineup. Good stuff, man.
The loaded team, loaded program. Great to see what that girls team accomplished. I mean, that is depth that you don't see very often, just not picking up an individual win, but I mean, still just consistency in every event, performing well and picking up points. Good on this group of young ladies. Everybody doing their job, everyone putting the work. Really special program, both guys and girls. I knew we were going to show out, and they certainly did to cap off the year. Yeah.
Looking here at the 4x1 girls relay, which we'll bring away with it. Go ahead, Wes. I just want people to know what they were seeing here.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
They ran away with it, man.
They ran a time of 47.79. Bringing it home nice and easy.
Wow.
Yeah. Smoked them. That's a pretty significant win there. Willie White with the footage. We appreciate the help with that. He was keeping me posted all night long. I think this is guys 4x1. Yeah. Guys 4x1. Whale Branch was runner-up in this. Yeah, Shondell Terry, Jonathan Kelly, Mason Griffin, and Keith Chisholm bringing it home for the Warriors. Got second in that race. There was some. I watched a good bit of the stream yesterday. And there were some great races, man. There were some really good races, but the Whale Branch girls were just phenomenal.
Dominant.
KJ bringing it home. What a career he's had at Whale Branch. 3 sports.
Yeah.
AJ, he is the guy.
This is the 200 guys. 200. Jonathan Kelly going to get on the podium here. It looks like he got him for second, but I believe he placed third. And then we just have some photos of some of the warriors who placed. Look at that.
Oh God, that's ridiculous.
Dominating. I believe that was it must have been the 100 meters. Yeah. The 100 meters where Destiny won it. Faith Eugene was third. Larmore was fifth, and Natalie Alberto was seventh. He took 4 of the top 8 spots in the 100, so you can see how they won the 4x1 going away.
Yeah.
Just an incredible performance. Tonight, Buford is running in the 3A meet, and pretty good showing so far, especially for Anaya Housel. She won the high jump. She was 5th in the 100 hurdles. And Azelta Antia was 2nd in the 800 and 8th in the, 1600? Yeah, I wrote the wrong thing in there.
What group?
And Tia also on the 4x8 relay that placed 8th. So taking a look there at the Whale Branch Warriors. Terrific season.
That's the picture right there.
Yeah.
See them both putting up, trophies, man.
Yeah, the guys and the girls showing out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Good to see the culmination of that. You get that picture on the track or on the field surrounding the track. So huge props to that program and those young men and women, and just continued success throughout the years at Whale Branch. We've got a lot of storied programs. I just think of Herbert Glaze and what he's done for Buford High Track and Field. Legend in every sense of the word. That guy is special, and really, really cool to be able to talk with him at least once, if not multiple times, on this podcast and hear from him and his stories and how the alumni support him. And that program is run so well, and so is Whale Branch. We have a bunch of outstanding track and field coaches and determined athletes around here in the Low Country, especially the smaller classifications. Although Hilton and May River, the 4A schools have been great, but I love seeing just the plight and the journey of these 1A, like Whale Branch, a small 1A school from Seabrook, and they're beating everybody else other than a school that shouldn't be 1A in Southside Christian.
Yeah. Yep. No, there's some phenomenal athletes hiding at the 1A schools here in South Carolina, and they get overlooked a lot of times because of the level. But some of the other standouts for Whale Branch, Bradford Thompson on the boys' side was runner-up in the shot and the discus. And then Jesse Richardson and Keith Chisholm each placed in 3 events. Chisholm 4th in the triple, 5th in the 110 hurdles, and 7th in the high jump. Richardson was 4th in the 1600, 5th in the 800, and 7th in the 3200. So contributing a ton of points. And then I'm pretty sure LaRon Wright scored. He was 6th in the high jump and 7th in the long jump. I think both of those came late and pushed them over the top for second place. But it was hard to tell because I don't think the live scoring was necessarily in sync with when it was actually happening. When it was getting inputted was not necessarily when it was happening. So I'm not positive on the chronology of that, but I know as they were wrapping up their broadcast, it looked like Whale Branch boys were going to finish in 3rd. And then some more scoring came in and it vaulted them into 2nd. So it was right down to the wire, coming down to a couple of points. So awesome stuff for those guys though. And, I think Hampton County tomorrow in the 2A
Yep.
meets, assuming, the weather's hopefully better up there than it's going to be here. But I think they got a shot to bring home, some hardware as well.
I believe so. That'll be a nice way to cap off. It looks like the weather could be a problem throughout, especially here. It's gonna pour for much of the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. So it's a nice little rain weekend for you. I know you've been busy with baseball. Sometimes it's nice to just kick back and find a weekend where you hang low and get ready for a busy a couple weeks ahead once you get into June and a lot of travel baseball. But that's besides the point. Back to track and this Hampton County team. I mean, star-studded lineups. We've talked about a bunch of those football guys on the men's side, but there are also some specialists across that team. Kayvon Chisholm, excited to see how he will do. I mean, gifted athletes that we have been blessed to see compete for Estill and now for this Hampton County Hurricanes team. And then you look over to that women's side, loaded with standouts on that group, and just really awesome to see these young women just excel and get better and compete against the best of a talented 2A classification. It's been really fun to pick up this team and to see the track and field success that they've had. It's really fun, and I expect them to put up some strong performances and come back with some hardware. Hopefully, they will get it in. I know there's some bad weather expected, so just hold out that hope to get all the events completed throughout the weekend and wrap up this spring sports season.
Oh, here's something. When I checked a minute ago, it showed Eric Smart from Beaufort had finished second in the 400 hurdles in 55.12, but now it shows he finished first in 55.111 to Jamarius Reeves is 55.114. So it looks like Eric Smart may be your state champ in the 400 meter hurdles in a photo finish.
Yeah, it must have been because they put him out second to begin with.
Whoa.
That's what it initially was showing when I looked earlier, but now it's.
If anybody has footage of that, please send it to us. I want to see that.
That's pretty wild.
Ooh, I want to see that finish. Neck to the end.
Wow. I do now, knowing how close that was.
That's pretty wild. As of right now, Beaufort's girls in 7th place with 27 points. They picked up 3 since we went live, so I got to figure out where those came from. Beaufort's boys have jumped up a little bit to 13th place with 16 points. Amari Patterson accounting for the other points. He was 5th in the 200, 7th in the 100, and then Smart with that first place finish in the 100 hurdles. So, man, you win one event, it makes a big difference in the team standings at state. You jump way up.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In the distance.
If you get that 10-point finish up there, that's everything to get that separation and put yourself and put your team in a good spot. Yep.
Indeed. So 4x4 went final, and Beaufort was 6th in that. Eccles and Brown, Antia, and Whittingham. So that's where their other 3 points came from. All right, so that's happening in real time. So we try to get some HHCA folks on tonight. Didn't work out. Coach J-Dub is on daddy duty. He's wrangling 3 youngins, so he didn't think it would be wise for him to try to get on. But he said next week we'll hook up. So we'll definitely get him on, get his reflections on the season, as well as just kind of a look ahead at what's next for HHCA, because as the new AD, he's got some big things in store. And then we tried to get some players, but they were all busy tonight or sick. Roman Kalala sick, no voice. Some had college applications to do. Others had family in town. So we'll have to talk to those boys.
Celebration.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
celebrating. Still celebrating. They must all drank out of the trophy or something, got each other sick. Put some Gatorade in there. Gatorade. I wasn't implying anything untoward. But the MVP sponsors of LowcoSports make this all possible. And we have Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Keller Williams of Lowcountry, and she's also my wife. And she would love to help you find your place in the Lowco or upgrade to a bigger, better place. It's a great time to get into the real estate market. If you look in the list, there's not a lot of inventory out there, so it's a great time. But if you're looking to buy, there's still a little bit of negotiating power. So great time to get involved. It's about to thaw out. Get out in front of it with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of the LowcoSports. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector, and Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz when it comes to making sure you're making a great investment in the real estate market. They're going to check on that home, and if you're building a new home, you've got to have that phased inspection, so they check it out every step of the way and make sure it's being built right. Call on Homegrown Home Inspections. Mickelson Law Firm, our official real estate closing attorney, our original sponsor, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. They've been with us since the beginning. They're still celebrating over there. Mickle Squad feeling good about that HHCA state championship. We appreciate them, and we hope you'll call on them for your legal needs. And Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of LowcoSports. You can get out to, hopefully you can get out to the yacht hop. I hope they don't get rained out. It's not looking great.
Oh, yeah.
Sure there's a plan, but it won't involve yachts. So that's no bueno. But Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, great organization doing great work in our community. And Hospice Care, it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors. We appreciate them. Also want to give a quick shout out to a new sponsor coming on board as a sustaining sponsor for Under the Bus, our show that we do every week with Curry Kirkpatrick, living legend from Sports Illustrated, Hall of Fame sports writer, Bob Stevens, former ESPN Sports Center anchor, now with WHHI TV, and Rich Basirico, who you all know and love from Hilton Head Prep Basketball for many, many years. Great show, talking sports, national sports, international sports, throwing people under the bus. We have a new sponsor for that, and it's Hudson's on the Docks. We love Hudson's. Shout out to Andrew Carmine's coming through with the sponsorship. Apparently those guys are all regulars over there. So we appreciate him supporting their little labor of love and helping us keep that thing going. But you'll be hearing more about Hudson's on here. Really cool place, by the way. If you haven't been over there in a while, like, it's so cool. Not only their oyster operation that they have, but if you can get over and check out their soft shell crab separating operation and the way they do that, it was fascinating to me to go through. We did it with the USCB entrepreneurship tour that we did. Took people over there and he showed it all to us, and it was unbelievable. But also their what's it called? Shell Ring Oyster Company, I think it's called. They got their own oyster beds out there that they've so they don't have to import them. Awesome stuff. Really cool. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Hudson's. And now we have a friend in the green room. We have Mr. Dr. Perusa. Carlo, what's up, buddy?
What up, boys? How are you guys?
What's up, man? So you were on assignment tonight. You volunteered yourself for this assignment because you always love. Yeah, you were all logoed out. I love it. Because you love to go out to this thing. You love to go hobnob it with the big guys. And who all did you get to talk to tonight out at the All-American Football Camp?
I did like a lot of interviews tonight. It was kind of crazy in a very short period of time. So started off with good old Coach BJ, which Justin, you should have that stuff for us to watch here soon. Did a good little interview with him. I mean, his camp, if you guys aren't aware, I mean, every single year, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, this thing is star-studded. When you look back at it now, I mean, I think he's been doing it for about 10 years or something. I mean, he's had guys from Trevor Lawrence to Deshaun Watson to DeAndre Swift's been on there, a bunch of local guys, Christian Wilkins, Dexter Lawrence. Today, some of the big ones, Rodrigo Blankenship, currently free agent, but a kicker for the Indianapolis Colts, Poona Ford, Mr. Los Angeles Chargers. He was out there. Some great college standouts, obviously. Jalen Sneed, local boy, he's out there looking monstrous. I mean, I probably interviewed Jalen 10 to 15 times. He comes up.
I like the braids too. I like the
he was wearing a Toronto Raptors shirt too. So Mr. Sneed, supporting some good teams. There you go. I'm like, you got Notre Dame? He's like, I'm Jalen. I'm like, oh my goodness. We have interviewed like how many times? I've lost count.
He's like a whole new man, right? Like
Poona Ford, first time I ever got to talk to him. It was kind of surprising. First time I ever got to chop it up with Poona. Big dude. The stories I've heard, but the guy's like gigantic. He really is. Very nice guy too. But some good standouts from college. Jeremiah Love, Julian Fleming, I believe they both play at Penn State, or one might be Notre Dame, one Penn State, but some great standouts there. CJ Hicks from
Notre Dame
up there. Yeah, sorry, Notre Dame. It's just some great players. You had a guy from the Texans. He was out there playing at the camp. It was just absolutely stacked. Coach Payne really does a wonderful job with that. I mean, it's his baby. And what I really like about the football camp more than anything is obviously, like, when you're in a football camp, I think one thing you'd want is to be very hands-on. And obviously, if you need to learn from the people that Coach Payne and Beach, the guys that they brought in, I mean, they're high-level college players, as well as guys who've even taken that next step and do the pros. But I think more importantly, they focus on position-specific instruction, which I really think that allows the kids to get something out of it. Because I feel like, some of these camps, it's more of kind of like a glorified thing where they just go out there, they get to see college player or pro player, they have a little bit of fun, but I don't necessarily think they really are able to get much that are going to help them. And I think this camp will actually allow, by focusing it on more position-based thing, will allow each kid to walk away with something that they can bring into the football season next year and have some success with.
Right on. Well, let's hear. I got BJ Payne queued up here, so let's hear what he had.
Loco Sports fans, Carla Perusa out here with BJ Payne here at the All-American Football Camp. Coach Payne's our first night. We have 3 nights total, 3 days total of the camp. Overall, what are you liking about it? Has it met your expectations this year?
Yeah, it has. It's a great camp, and the guys we bring in are truly incredible. I mean, they have done a great job of working with the kids tonight, and it's just a great event, something we're able to do and bring some unique football talent to the Low Country to come work with the kids from all over down here.
We have a lot of stars here. You have some good guys from Penn State, Ohio State, some NFL guys, some local guys, some guys you used to coach at Poona Ford, Jalen Sneed. Overall, how was the process like getting these guys? Has it become pretty easy over the years?
It always gets more interesting every year in the world of free agency in the NFL. And then, you add in now with, the transfer portal in college, it becomes hard. We had 2 guys that worked camp last year who didn't know where they were going to be because they were in the portal. Christian Wilkins just signed with the Raiders, so he's house hunting in Las Vegas right now, and he couldn't make it. Dexter had a celebrity softball tournament, so he had to go there. But, we're always going to be able to pull talent and bring guys back. And, I'm so proud of our guys. I think there's, 4 of our former players that are here, and then 1 Jaden Jones from May River. It's awesome to be able to do that with all of our local kids.
What is it like for you, knowing the fact that you were able to play a part in guys like Poona and Jalen, some others who go to the pros, go to college? Is that a gratifying feeling?
It is. I always tell them, in fact, I was talking to one of our former players the other day, and I told him, I just show you guys the map and you guys drive the car. And, just giving them the opportunities and making sure they have the opportunities to get seen and to go places. And then, it's truly all them. It's the work they put in. It's how good of ball players they are and how good of students they are to get those opportunities. But, really proud of the opportunities we're able to open up for them.
Our last question, Coach Payne. What is the goal here? What do you want each of these campers to walk away with after this program?
Well, first of all, it's a great experience. They get a chance to look up to guys that, they watch on Saturdays and Sundays. But then they learn different positions. And I think that's a big thing because at this age, a kid who, like my son who's in 3rd grade, he's a big kid, but that doesn't mean that that's what he's going to be in, when he gets to high school. So getting them to learn something that they don't always get a chance to do is important because every kid grows at different times and develops at different times. So learning all the skill sets and I think the thing that gets missed a lot of times is these guys that come to work the camp, they truly love working the camp. They love working with the kids, and they get the experience out of it just as much as the kids do.
All right, well, Coach Payne, thank you for allowing us to come out, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Good stuff, bro. Got you muted, but I had you muted because you were editing video over there. And
I got a couple more surprises coming. I didn't realize I was picking it up. Okay.
I was like, where am I hearing Go Loco from? Yeah. But no, I love what Payne said there about like just because you're a big kid in 3rd grade doesn't mean you're gonna be a big kid when you're 16 or 18. So start learning what's going on all over the field and getting some skills. But also got Jalen Sneed queued up here. Looking forward to hearing
The
that.
sports fans, Carl Prusa back out here, BJ Camp's All-American Football Camp with a familiar face, a boy of the Lowco, Mr. Jalen Sneed. You're off doing big things now, playing over at Notre Dame. Back here, you've attended this camp when you were younger. What is it like to be back and be a coach here?
It's blessing. It's a blessing to be back, just to be back to serve my community. I love serving my community, love seeing the little kids that are in my community grow up, and it's just a blessing to be here, back on the island.
Now, what are some of the things you want each kid to take away from participating in this camp?
I just want them to take away hard work and determination is going to get you anywhere, and to come out here and just work hard and put your mind to anything, you can do anything.
What's it like being also out here with some guys who are in the NFL, guys who are at Penn State, at Ohio State? What's it like to be able to cut up with them a little bit?
It's great to learn, and you learn from everybody because when you learn from people, you're picking their minds, you're getting knowledge from them. It's just a great feeling, great time, honestly. Make friends with those guys.
Last question, Jalen. Perfect world. What are you looking to accomplish next year at Notre Dame, my man?
I'm just looking forward to being a bigger part of the defense. Looking forward to doing my part in my role. Looking forward to having a great year, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I'm Carl Prusa. That's Jalen Sneed. Go Lowco.
You almost got you guys mixed up there.
Yeah, I kind of wish I looked like that sometimes. I mean, my physique is not really much impressive, and that guy looks like he is North American. So, yeah. He's a good dude, man. That was cool.
He's a grown man on campus.
Yeah, he's grown, man.
Stage Notre Dame.
It was cool because I've interviewed him. We've had a bunch of interviews when we were in when he was in high school, both basketball, football, and to see him now is the first time I've talked to him since he's been to Notre Dame. And one thing I could really touch upon, like the professionalism, like he's really maybe they teach immediate training over there, but like
it gives you reps.
Very humble about it, which is good.
Yeah, he's definitely comfortable in front of the mic. You can tell that.
I was talking with Jeremiah Love, his teammate, and one of the questions I asked him, I was like, what is it like to be a teammate with a guy like Jalen Sneed and be able to like do a camp and see where he went to high school and see where he's from and all that? And his response was funny. He's like, Jalen, he's kind of crazy. He's more of a character. So like, it was kind of surprising to see that he came from a really nice place like this. Then I saw Jalen's mom and I was like, hey, Jeremiah said your son's crazy. And she's like, oh, he is.
Oh, he is. Shut that like it is. Congratulations to her, by the way. China graduated from USC recently. So Mama's Need doing it right. But you got more interviews coming in tonight? Or is that
loading up right now? And
right on.
Got about 90% left here.
Right on. Well, what have you been up to? You've been out kicking around at the fight game, or what have you been?
Yeah, the fight game. I did a show in Jacksonville. I think it was the week before last. Little combat night MMA. Great little show. One of my buddies, Torres Finney, he's on the show. He amazing one-punch knockout. Showed up to Justin. I mean, absolutely. If you guys do not like fighting, do not watch this, because I mean, it was pretty violent. I mean, they were kind of battling for separation. They were clinched up a little bit. His opponent didn't want him to go too far because he was scared of the takedown and the hands. And, Torres was able to break away from it a little bit and just landed a nasty overhand right. I mean, he dropped like a sack of pancakes. I mean, it was a sight to be told. But more importantly, a really cool thing, he won the show. And yesterday he announced that he is going to be on the Dana White Contender Series in August, his second attempt. So basically, if he wins on there, he should get a contract in the UFC, which is really cool because that's a guy that, I kind of started this journey with. He was my first interviews that I've ever done in Savannah with Jorge Masvidal's Icon FC. And then another guy that I've become really good friends with, my buddy Malcolm Wellmaker, who fights out of Augusta. He just announced today that he's fighting on the Contender Series as well. And both of those guys I met and did interviews with on the first show. So it's kind of cool to see that, I'm kind of progressing a little bit in this world. And, some of these regional guys, they're going to be UFC fighters here very soon. So it's really cool to see both of us grow together. It's a really cool concept.
Well, I am going to show people this knockout because it's amazing.
Torres two times.
Here we go.
It shows that he's more of just a wrestler with that. I mean, the kid is an absolute machine, 25-year-old machine. One of his problems is on the regional scene. No one wants to fight him. And obviously, when you watch something like that, it kind of makes sense. You couldn't maybe keep it.
I don't want to fight him.
I mean, he is such a good dude. His personality is super infectious. He has a very, very bright future ahead of him. That's going to be a star in the UFC.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of the MMA, but I sat in a room while you interviewed that dude, and I came away really impressed with him. And I was like invested in knowing how he did in his fight. And then you sent me that, and I was like, I'm like the biggest fan of Torres Finney now. He's like I don't care about MMA, but he's my favorite fighter, the Punisher. He's unreal, dude.
I've been to a lot of fights in person, and I don't think I've seen a knockout like that before. That was just that's going to be one of the knockouts of the year of any promotion. Like, that is amazing.
Speaking of which, while we're kind of sharing telling on the subject, did you see the Jake Paul's attempt, or Logan Paul, whichever one it is, his attempt to intimidate Mike Tyson today?
No, I did not.
Oh, I saw it. It's so stupid.
I'm speaking on record here.
I don't think Tyson was intimidated.
Guys, a lot of people are disagreeing with me, but Jake Paul's going to win that contest. I mean, you're talking about a 27-year-old versus almost a 60-year-old man.
Why?
I don't want it either. I don't think many people want to see Jake win, but I don't know, that it's such a tricky thing because of all the rules they have, like headgear. It got recently a sanctioned bout, so it's actually going to be on their record. So, like,
I think no contest is still the most likely outcome here.
You never know with stuff like that, man. This is a big money fight, and who knows what can happen.
I can just see Paul doing something stupid and trollish, and Tyson's just going berserk on him.
Well, the last time his brother, Logan Paul, he boxed, he got disqualified because he went and tackled somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Something dumb's going to happen, and Tyson's just going to go nuts on him. Remember Tyson fought him, bit his ear off. Like,
Logan's last fight was against, I think, a former MMA fighter, and he could not box to save his life. So Logan was just hitting him around the ring, and then the dude just finally decided to tackle him as the round was ended. So he got disqualified for that, which I thought was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I watched that live too. I was like, this is the most disappointing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, his last boxing match.
I'm old enough to remember when Celebrity Deathmatch was a joke.
Hey, you know what, man? Listen, my thing on this, seriously, for a long time, I'm more so Jake Paul because he's taking this a little more serious than his brother. Logan's doing great things in the WWE. I've been taking at first when he first started fighting guys like Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. At first, I'm like, what is going on? The guy's padding his record. He's fighting no names who are boxers, and the guys that are fighting that are MMA guys are in their 40s and mid 40s, and he's a 26-year-old. Okay, he's not a Jake Paul, in my opinion, is not a world-class boxer, but he trains almost every single day. The kid is taking it serious. So I respect him for doing it. I mean, he is fighting guys. He's taking it serious. I mean, the only time when he fought a half-decent boxer, Tommy Fury, Tyson's Fury brother, he lost, which is expected. But, it's, for me, I have a love and hate relationship with it. One, I don't like to see these famous legends lose to a guy like that. But secondly, it's growing the sport because people who would not be watching combat sports if Jake wasn't there is watching it.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be the viewing numbers are going to be insane.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I want to watch it.
I think it's free on. Isn't it on Netflix too? I think it's on Netflix.
They know how to make money. Let's just put it at that, man. They're going to make a lot of it, and hands off to them. If you make $1, why not, right?
Yep. I'm in it. I'm in for it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
We going to do a local celebrity boxing match.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
Who
think
are we going to put in that match?
Justin Jarrett versus DJ Trahan.
Well, we'd have to find people in the same weight class. That might be the tricky part. I think we could find plenty of people that would sign up to get in the ring with other people, but they might not be in the same weight class.
I think Butch Mullis would be a great main event.
Who are we going to put in the ring with Mullis? Who are we going to put in the ring with Mullis?
Who do you go with Mullis? You got to bring back you got to bring back the dude who was on the sideline
Hatcher.
Hatcher. That's Hatcher and Mullis. And we go.
Jason Hatcher's much younger than Mullis. That's not a fair fight.
What about the coach from Whale Branch, the football coach up there?
Yeah, Jerry Hatcher.
Oh, Jerry Hatcher.
Yeah,
Jerry Hatcher. I wouldn't want to fight Jerry Hatcher now.
He'd be tough.
You don't. Hey, listen now. You don't.
Let's talk it off.
No.
You don't want to get in the ring with no Jerry Hatcher now. No, sir. You don't want to get in the ring with this. No, Bubba. You wish you didn't, Bubba. But
oh man, we're going carried away here tonight, boys.
Hey, that's what this show's all about. That's when we're at our best, is when we get carried away.
Yeah.
We ain't got nothing to talk about. It's dangerous, but it's fun. But well, hey man, we'll keep looking out. Wait, we got another one.
You got another one, yeah. Barrett.
We got Rodrigo. Oh, it's a long one too.
Yeah,
Rodrigo had a lot to say.
Carl Pruzo, LowcoSports out here, All-American Football Camp with Mr. Rodrigo Blankenship, NFL kicker, played a little bit at UGA. Out here, I think for now, your 4th time at this football camp. What keeps bringing you back and back, man?
I just love it down here. Excuse my voice, I'm losing it a little bit. Just had a really intense last few hours out at camp here on the first day. But yeah, I mean, I just love coming down here for the camp. Love getting to, give back and try and inspire and have a positive influence on these young kids that are coming up and have aspirations and dreams of playing football just like I did. So, I just love being able to come down here and give back. I love Hilton Head. Usually the weather is pretty terrific. I know we're starting to get a little bit of rain right now, but usually always love the weather and just always have a great time down here. So why not come back?
Coach Payne is definitely known to bring fireworks and firepower to this football camp. I mean, when you look at the last 10 years, you have a bunch of NFL guys, very high-level pro guys. What do you think makes this one stand away from other football camps that you might have been at or worked at?
I mean, honestly, I think it's just the people that put it together. Coach BJ is incredible, very personable person. Excuse the redundancy, Beach as well. I mean, just the people that put on this camp, I think, are just, you can tell that they love these kids, they love giving back, and, they pour their hearts into this camp every year. And I think that's something that, when they reach out to people and want to bring them in, that they can tell that this camp just means so much to them. And, so we want to help out and give back as well and pour our hearts into it as well.
What are some of the main takeaways you want each kid to take from participating in a camp like this?
I think one of the great things about this camp is that they get to try everything. You know, they get to go to every station and they get to try what it's like to be at every position, O-line, D-line, wide receiver, quarterback, now kicker and punter the last few years as well. So they get to try out every position, and I think that gives them a great opportunity to figure out early on, you know, what they're most drawn to, what they like to do the most, and that can help them to set them on the right path to, you know, pursue trying to go in that direction with that position from a young age and, you know, just kind of fast track them with their career.
All right, so NFL season is approaching. Currently, you're a free agent, but what are some of the goals, or what are you looking to accomplish coming into the season?
I think I'm just looking to be the best version of myself that I've been. You know, I feel like I had a good career at the University of Georgia, and I had a good start. Not a great start, but a good start to my NFL career in Indianapolis. Obviously, things didn't, you know, work out like I would have hoped, but ultimately that's on me to just perform at a better level and, you know, put out a better product on the field for somebody. So I just want to be able to tap in and, you know, provide the best version of myself that I've been to this point in my career, and hopefully, you know, that will entice somebody to give me an opportunity to get back in. So all I can do is focus on being the best version of myself and let the rest take care of itself.
Rodrigo, wishing nothing but the best, my man. That's Rodrigo Blankenship of Carl-Perusa. Go Loco.
That's good life advice there from Rodrigo. Just, I mean, control what you can control, be the best version of yourself, and the rest will take care of itself. What a cool dude that guy is. I love that dude. Maybe an opening in Kansas City, you know. Our kicker's kind of got himself in hot water.
I was talking to him a little bit after the fact, and I'm like, broadcasting something you thought of? And he's like, oh, yeah. I mean, guy's good. He's very personable. I definitely can see him having a good career as an analyst or color commentary or something when he's done playing ball.
Right on. And we got one more with Julian Fleming from
1-2. Hey, Loco Sports fans, Carl-Perusa out here, BJ Payne's All-American Football Camp. I'm with Mr. Julian Fleming, senior from Penn State. It's your second time out here. What keeps you bringing you back to this football camp, man?
You know, I just have a great relationship with BJ, and being able to, you know, come back and just be able to give back to a community. I think it's awesome. And, you know, you see the amount of support that they have around here, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of my high school. You know, I run a camp a little bit similar to his, not with as many kids, obviously, but just being able to come back and give back to a community it's a great thing to do.
Now, what do you think separates this football camp from maybe other camps you've attended or have seen?
Honestly, just the amount of people that he gets and the amount of support, you know, within the whole community. And, you know, everyone who comes here, they pretty much come back the next year and year after that, and that's been the case for me this year. So just the amount of people he's able to come back and support his camp, you know, it's amazing.
What are some of the key takeaways you want the students to learn from participating in this camp?
Honestly, just being able to come out here and have fun and competing a little bit. I mean, obviously it's not too competitive of a camp, but just being able to come out here and have fun and compete against one another, I think, you know, is really good for them as, you know, they continue their competitive career.
All right, Julian, last question. You're going into your super senior year. What do you want to accomplish next year at Penn State?
Honestly, I just want to, you know, continue to be the best version of myself, continue to improve in every aspect of my game, and, you know, obviously make it to a national championship. So that's the goal.
That's Julian Fleming. I'm Carl-Perusa. Stay Loco.
Stay Loco.
I like it. Stay Loco.
Brady Sacha tagline. All right.
Oh, is that what he says?
Stay Loco.
Yeah. That's what he says.
Good stuff from Fleming again with the best version of yourself. So take something away from this, kids. The people at the top level are saying the same thing. There's usually some secret in the sauce there, but good stuff, man.
We got a bunch more for this week, too. I think there's 4 or 5 more. Puna Ford, Jeremiah Love, and a couple others we'll get on the show later this week.
Right on. Well, we appreciate you, man. And we'll talk to you real soon. Be good.
Guys, good night.
All right. That's Dr. Perusa talking about whatever he talks about. We talk about a little bit of everything when the doctor comes by and gives us the diagnosis. But good stuff from the All-American Football Camp. Shout out to Payne and Beach for pulling off another one. Always a great job. I know Beach is like running shuttles to the airport and hotels and everything else this week. It's all hands on deck to make our visitors feel special. So they'll come back next year. But varsity sponsors of LowcoSports. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties, and they've jumped on board to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes like the Hurricanes going for a state championship tomorrow on the track. Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind and the place to be if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level. And Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor of LowcoSports. He's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton. He'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Checking in on the track. Let's see where we stand right now as far as team scores. Buford girls have slid into a tie for 7th, and the boys are tied for 13th. Maybe getting close to done at this point. I'll have to, it looks like it's almost all in. So I'll have to catch up on that in a little bit, see what else is going on over there. But what else, boys? Not much else happening. Let's talk about that Somerville West Ashley situation, because I think that's worth some discussion. We already had one debacle, so to speak, with the games that got rained out after they were official, and people were mad about that. And the rule was the rule. But now we've got another one, and I think the takeaway for me is we need to be real careful making rules in response to specific situations and end up making blanket rules that apply to situations that they weren't intended to apply to. Because this is now a couple times that this has happened in the postseason. But this one they added a little caveat to the pitch count rules this year that and my understanding is this was new this year, if you pitch consecutive days, the rule previously was up to 30, no rest needed. You can come back the next day. But they added a caveat that if you can pitch consecutive days, regardless of the number of pitches on the first day, your limit is 75 on the second day instead of 110. Now, so in that case, the young man for Somerville came in. They were supposed to play 2 on Wednesday, right? If Ashley Ridge won, the if necessary game would be right after, be a doubleheader. So Ashley Ridge rallies, wins game 1, forces game 2. It's supposed to be Wednesday night. It gets rained out. It gets played Thursday. So in the meantime, though, Somerville had brought in a guy. He threw 2 pitches, faced 2 batters, finished the game. The intent was for him to start the next game. He would have had 108 pitches left if they had played that game that day. But because they didn't, he had 75 the next day. And he pitched 83. And after he had exceeded the limit and he threw another pitch to another batter, Ashley Ridge said, "Hold up, ineligible player. This game should be over." They let him play it out from that point, which they really shouldn't have. If it should have been over. But they let him play it out, and Somerville won the game. But they didn't, because they played an ineligible player. So they lost the game. Well, now they're appealing it, and they'll hear their appeal on Monday. So they're delaying the Class 5A championship series until they can settle this appeal to determine who will represent the lower state. So
I guess Wes wanted to leave after hearing that.
Yeah, Wes was like, "I've heard enough of this."
I think it's just I get it, but I also think it's the dumbest thing you can possibly do is hold out. Let these boys play. Let them finish their season.
Right. So like the rule,
I get the rules and all, but when it's a situation like this, I understand. But in the end of it, if you're appealing this and you're holding out this championship, bout, this is when you're like, no, this is a bit too much.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like I kind of feel like you just got to take your medicine at some point if you're Somerville, right? Like we messed up. We misinterpreted the rule. We didn't do it right. We screwed up and we cost our kids a shot. I agree. Like delaying the state championship series to litigate this, basically, which is what's going to happen. I mean, they're sending a lawyer in, like,
oh my God.
I don't love that.
No.
But I also think the rule was kind of short-sighted. Like the idea that we're going to treat 1 or 30 pitches the same is counter to the whole idea of going to pitch count rules instead of innings pitched, because not every out is the same, right? Like it could be a 8 pitch out or a 1 pitch out.
Yeah.
So the fact that the kid, he threw 2 pitches, that's nothing. It's literally nothing. Like
No.
the third baseman probably made more than 2 harder throws from third.
Yeah.
The catcher certainly made more than 2 harder throws, but they would be eligible to throw 110 the next day. So like that's the issue I have. Like clearly this rule was put in for a reason, and the reason was that coaches were trying to pitch guys right up to 30 and then bring them back the next day and throw them 110, which is not great. But to go from there to where we got, like, it's just over legislating it.
Well, that, and they're bringing a lawyer in for this. I mean, how
USA Pitch Smart guidelines are already there. Just make those the rule.
Why are you bringing in a lawyer for a high school state championship series?
It's a bad look.
How much farther are they going to go with this?
You have the
Well,
possibly go.
That's
with
as far as they can go.
Yeah.
I hope it is, because I wasn't expecting anyone to bring a lawyer in for this. I knew about the situation, but
I think their argument is that why is it different the next day than it would have been? Like if he could have thrown 108 pitches today, why can't he throw 108 tomorrow? It was supposed to be a doubleheader, but they're going to lose on that because the semantics don't matter. The rules in place to protect the kid's arm. So it's like,
and what exactly, like, because the coaching staff had to point that out. The umpires didn't even think about it. Like they didn't.
Right. Well, and it's not their job to police it. They're not counting pitches.
No.
But also, like, I've seen people saying, like, well, Somerville probably thought they're going to get away with it because Noah's counting. What? Both teams have game changer going. Everybody in the world knows the pitch count in real time in the ballpark. Like,
plus, coaches are
those
keeping
days are over.
Yeah. Plus, coaches are keeping track with, old school.
They clearly thought that he had 110 or 108 at least. They did.
That's what my thought process is.
You have to
but
be
that's
aware.
a failure on the coach's part. Like you got to know the situation, and if you're not sure, you got to get clarification before the game. You can't put
Somebody has the bluff with upstairs that can tell you, like, ask what the pitch count.
They got the game changer. Somebody in the dugout's got the game changer, and somebody else is doing the clicker. Like, there's at least 3 people that know what the pitch count.
I mean, at this point, these kids have to sit around. I mean, these kids have to sit around and wait for them to make a decision. How long are we talking this is going to take?
I think my biggest takeaway from the whole thing is just like how many adults have failed the kids here. Like, this is not the way that this should be going, and there's a lot of adults who drop the ball for it to get to this point. But it's wild, and hopefully they go back to the drawing board and fix some of these rules.
Did Ashley Ridge put the game under protest or anything?
Well, they went, I mean, they went to the umpires when he threw the first pitch that made him ineligible and said, hold on, his pitch count's over the limit. Right. This game should be over. So, and the high school league ruled already in Ashley Ridge's favor. They use an ineligible player. They forfeit, game over. Ashley Ridge wins. It's Somerville that's appealing and trying to get it overturned. So, but really, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's wild.
It's just, the fact that it's gone this far, I think is just, it's absurd. Because, I mean, these kids want to play. I don't think they really care about,
Well, and what I'd like to think I would do, and you never know until you're in that moment, but I'd like to think as the opposing coach, if I realized what was happening, I would have called time before he threw the first illegal pitch and went to the umpire and said, hold on, this guy's already hit his pitch limit. He can't pitch to another batter or they're going to have to forfeit this game. And then force that pitching change, because ostensibly the rules in place to protect the kid from throwing too many pitches and hurting himself, right? So, so we're going to just let him keep throwing pitches and possibly hurt himself, even though we
They let him throw.
know
They
that
let
we
him
can
throw
make them
one
forfeit
pitch.
after the fact. Like, that's stupid. Let's go alert them and get him out of the game and see who wins.
Yeah.
But
that's the other thing. I mean, that's the other
you
thing.
know,
They let him
Somerville would have not afforded Ashley Ridge the same courtesy, I'm sure. But you just like to think that that's where everybody's heads would be. But it's just
a bit of good sportsmanship would go a bit of a ways there. Because I mean, so basically they let him throw what? How many more pitches after the 75?
Well, he only threw 83. He finished the game because what happened at that point was Ashley Ridge said he's ineligible, and Somerville said no, he can throw 110. Like they died on the hill of no, that's not the rule, and finish the game and let him keep pitching, and they're wrong. Like, that is the rule. So now they're still arguing that they're right, that the rule isn't what it is, and so I don't see how they're going to win. But like, it wasn't that they were trying to circumvent the rule. They literally didn't think that was the rule. So, I mean, we got to communicate the rules better too. That's the other thing. Like, how do we get to the state champion or lower state championship series and we got coaches still don't know what the pitch count rules are? Like, it's got to be clearly.
It's just
go try to find them. You'll find more than one link that has pitch count rules, and they're different.
Right.
We got to communicate that stuff better. It's
got to make it more concrete than it is right now.
Yeah.
Because
to me, it's as simple as USA Pitch Smart guidelines. They're already there. You can go up to 20, no rest. You go over 20, 21 to 35, it's a day. Like, I mean, they're already there. The research has already been done. The doctors and the surgeons and the scientists they've already put them out. I don't know why we got to try to make our own version, but whatever.
So now these kids are basically sitting here waiting to see what happens, and I feel bad for them because they're now stuck in the middle of two adult coaching staffs in school arguing over that.
Most memorable moments of their high school careers, playing the state champion, the lower state championship series for the chance to get to the state finals. And this is supposed to be an enjoyable part of your season. And, you hate to see something like this impeding the way of like a really quality series between two good teams. That should not be the point of discussion. Discussion should be what goes on in terms of the kids on the field, not what's going on here.
Right.
So
I mean, trust me, these kids are going to remember this because this is not something that happens every day.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of things that don't happen every day and chaos and messes, Scotty Scheffler, he got arrested, made bail, stretched in the cell, and made it back to Valhalla in time to shoot back up onto the leaderboard.
Who wrote this
day, I swear.
Who am I?
I don't know, man. I think
he's the new father too, man.
We're supposed to be on at some point. This doesn't feel like real life.
This is my gift to you. Like, this is the gift to his new kid. End up in jail.
I literally thought when I first started seeing tweets about it, I thought it was a joke. I was like, yeah, it's Scotty Scheffler.
No, and then they got the video, and then the video
went away in handcuffs. I was like, what?
Well, the other thing was the video footage.
I don't know what to make of it. Like, it's
I don't either.
Wow. Because I mean, his story sort of checks out. Like, I mean, I've been in situations where there's red lights and blue lights, red lights flashing everywhere, and it's rainy and it's dark and like they're reflecting everywhere. It's chaotic. You're trying to figure out where you're supposed to go, and you feel constant panic that you're gonna mess up. Like, I've been there. And so I feel what he's saying, where he didn't know what he was supposed to be doing, but then the cop just jumped on his car.
Yeah.
I also understand the cops, like, it's a weird situation too. Like, you've just had someone killed. It's tragic. Like, we're not trying to make light of the situation. It's awful that the shuttle bus had hit one of the volunteers or one of the workers, and it's just terrible. And so as law enforcement, like, you're just trying to secure the scene and make sure that there isn't another incident or accident on your watch, right? So, like, guy shoots through place where he's not supposed to go. But
Yeah.
just like it's a comedy what ensues, and it ends
video
up with
footage is
Scotty
the best,
Scheffler
by the way.
stretching in the jail cell before his round. But the guy's such a machine. You know, I talked to Curry Kirkpatrick today. Speaking of under the bus, Curry called me, and we were talking about the Scheffler thing, and he's like, "It's unbelievable that this guy gets out of jail and strolls out there and shoots 65 or whatever he shot.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a machine. He's just totally unaffected by it. It's unbelievable."
You
But
call him machine, and I immediately think of the Bert Kreischer video on YouTube.
machine.
I am the machine.
I went and saw that in the theater with my buddy Jan Lucas from Homegrown Home Inspections. Actually, he's a huge Bert Kreischer fan. Bert Kreischer also hilarious on the Tom Brady roast. Like him just cracking up a couple of times just had me going.
He's actually coming to Savannah too.
I know, the Fully Loaded Comedy Festival. I really want to go to that because Dan Soder's on there too. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah, he's a funny dude. Anyway,
anyway,
I don't know if did anyone see the video though of him getting arrested?
Yeah,
he was like, "Please help me." As he's walking away, like I think he was genuinely like scared because I mean, you saw the video and he
got like
how'd they get
the
fans get the free Scotty shirts already? Like,
he got like slammed up against the bar, right? Like,
do they already have?
Wild.
Wait, Wes, do they already have free Scotty shirts?
That's what I'm seeing on this story. Right here's a picture of two fans with the shirts that read "Free Scotty."
I'm not surprised by that at all. But
this is just incredible. This story. This world #1 golfer Scotty Scheffler dragged away in handcuffs and now facing some pretty serious charges.
The felony charge is shocking. And to be honest with you, when you think about the top-ranked golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, this is so jarring when you consider who he is. I mean, he is so clean-cut. He's squeaky clean. He can't be rattled. I mean, he almost is the subject of some fodder around the fact that he is just so even-keeled. So to be detained by police like that this morning, you saw ESPN's reporter Jeff Darlington there who was on the scene. And what Darlington suggests is that Scheffler had attempted to drive past a police officer this morning trying to get into Valhalla Golf Club and that he didn't really stop. An officer attached himself to the vehicle and then he went an extra 10 yards or so, according to Darlington. When he did finally stop, he exited the vehicle. And according to Jeff, the police officer shoved him against the car immediately placed him into handcuffs. And you see him cooperating with officers there, walking with officers, ultimately being detained. For context, which is important, there was a separate incident this morning that caused PGA Championship organizers to delay the start of the second round. There was an accident that occurred in the early morning hours near the course where a man was killed after being hit by a shuttle bus near Valhalla Golf Club. So that incident impacted traffic, and it's likely to think that increased police presence, those traffic issues, ultimately affected Scheffler's ability to get where he was going, even though he was not directly involved in that incident. The public shuttles to the course have resumed play. Play was set.
But I was really just looking for the video of him getting arrested. But I guess Jeff Darlington had the original. But just crazy. We live in the upside down. Just a weird thing.
I can think Scotty's saying, "I love you, son. I'm going to jail now."
But he's got a rap sheet. He's got street cred now.
This is a guy that this is something that golf stories like this is what golf need. I'll tell you, certainly something you wouldn't expect, but I mean, just you live to tell the tale and you move on. But
I saw some good memes today. I saw some good memes today. One of them was a picture of Xander Schauffele and said, here's a photo of the arresting officer. And then another one said something about, nobody can replace Tiger, but that we can replace him in the aggregate. Rory getting divorced and Scheffler getting arrested. Good stuff. But well, hey boys.
Yeah, the people in that jail, by the way, now call him the Machine.
But hey, the Lowco Booster Club, they help make all of this possible. I'm not talking about goofy stuff. So please support them. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court are Lowco natives with Charter One Realty. They'd love to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Revive Rehab, Women's Health and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Go see Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen, especially if you're a new mom. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, not just the one. And they've got all kinds of other cool stuff in their showroom over at Argent Boulevard. So go see what they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop has, it's the place to be in downtown Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can go in for the great conversation and come out with a great style. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. That's the Lowco Booster Club. Also want to give a shout out to Hearth Pizza in downtown Beaufort. They recently agreed to do a spirit night for LowcoSports, and they raised about $650 to support LowcoSports and help keep local sports coverage coming every night, keeping you all informed on what's happening around the Lowco. So shout out to Hearth Pizza. They're going to be one of our new sponsors, and hopefully we can do more events like that around the Low Country where people can go out, support a local business, and support LowcoSports. We appreciate them for thinking outside the box with us. Great pizza, too. If you haven't been down on Bay Street to Hearth, they got great stuff. They also own Plums and Saltus River Grill. Is that right? 3 great restaurants right on Bay Street. Go check them out. All right, boys, you want to shout anybody out? Wes?
Yeah, I will go with the Whale Branch Warriors.
Yeah.
Stellar performance, both the guys and the girls bringing it in this 1A meet. Bradford Thompson, so many guys to shout out that we mentioned earlier, and just so proud of each and every one of those members of this team for putting it on display when it matters the most and taking home some hardware back to Seabrook. So, tons of names to shout out. We went through them earlier, but just super proud of this Whale Branch team and that program for showing success at the 1A level, and once again, tremendous showing at the state championship meet.
Right on, brother. Max, you got any specific shout outs you want to levy?
Well,
it's okay if you don't.
I really don't. I mean, the only shout out I could give is the Braves beating up on the Cubs for 2 out of 3 games. But hey, you know.
But we're on to being beat up by the Pirates now.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, Paul Skeens is got to be one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. That dude is a monster.
Yeah, he was unreal today.
Anyway, I got to give credit to the Whale Branch boys, man. They finished second without actually winning an event. That's really impressive. Especially against a team like Southside Christian, and we all have seen how good Southside Christian is. Yeah. Again, shouldn't be a 1A team, but they are somehow. So
girls waxed them,
the boys, man.
Yeah. Girls waxed them though.
Ooh,
3 in a row for the girls. I'll go a little off the board. I'll shout out. I meant to bring it up earlier, but I didn't, so I'll do it in shout outs. Signing day today for Devin Allen from Hampton County, signing at Pfeiffer to play basketball. Really excited for that kid. I know we mentioned it the other night, but today was the day. So big shout out to him, getting a shot at the next level. I haven't checked, but I'm hoping maybe USCB will play Pfeiffer over the next few years in a non-conference game. It would make sense.
Yeah,
it would.
You know, they're from the Carolinas at least. Conference Carolinas is kind of a natural like non-conference thing. So I'm hoping maybe we'll get to see Dev come through the Cove one of these days. But good stuff.
Cool. Yeah, it would be
cool. All right, boys. Well, what are you getting into this weekend?
Hopefully avoid the weather. Rain's going to be coming down, so it's going to be a factor. But
watch some PGA Championship.
We got the All American Football Camp. Hopefully they can get that in Saturday and Sunday, and wrapping up track and field and this spring sports season coming up on tomorrow with Hampton County competing to put a bow on another Terrific athletic year in Lowco.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Almost over. All right. Well, everybody enjoy your weekend. Stay dry out there. We'll be back Monday night. We'll talk about the rest of the track and field meets, and we'll talk with Carlo again and hear more from the All-American football camp. We'll try to get J.W. Wilkerson in here. He's committed to come talk to us. We just got to find a night that works with his schedule, which I can totally relate to. And we'll see who else we can round up to come and talk sports with us next week on the Loco Sports Lowdown. Thanks so much to Dr. Carlo Peruzza for coming on and sharing his reporting from the All-American football camp. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks to you for showing up to listen or watch. That's going to do it for tonight. Until Monday night, for Wes Kerr and Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till then, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.